Why do so many people reach the end of their lives only to realize they never truly lived?
Look at how most people move through their day-to-day existence. They wake up to the blare of an alarm, instantly checking their phones, allowing random notifications, emails, and social media feeds to dictate their emotional state before their feet even touch the floor. They react to traffic, react to difficult boss requests, react to gossip, and react to every minor inconvenience that comes their way. They are pulled in 10 different directions by external demands, living in a constant state of low-grade anxiety, mental exhaustion, and silent regret. They tell themselves that one day, when the workload slows down, when they get that promotion, when the weekend arrives, or when their bank account reaches a certain number, they will finally experience peace of mind. But that day never comes. The modern world is engineered to keep your attention fragmented, your mind distracted, and your soul dependent on external approval. You hand over the steering wheel of your life to external circumstances, letting external chaos govern your internal reality. You worry about what people think of you. You dread uncertainties you cannot control. And you let valuable years slip through your fingers like sand through an hourglass. This is not just exhausting. It is a quiet betrayal of your own potential. 2,000 years ago, during the height of the Roman Empire, a group of philosophers known as the Stoics faced the exact same human crisis. Emperors, slaves, statesmen, and soldiers lived through plagues, political betrayals, wars, and financial ruins. Yet, amidst the chaos, they developed a practical, battle-tested blueprint for living a life of unshakable calm, personal sovereignty, and profound purpose. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, writing in his private journal Meditations, reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoics did not offer abstract theories or ivory tower academic debates. They gave us concrete rules for living. In this video, we will explore 4 fundamental Stoic rules from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus that will change how you view your time, your struggles, and your mind forever. If you master these rules, no external storm will ever break your peace again. Rule 1. Master your internal citadel, the dichotomy of control. The foundation of all Stoic wisdom begins with a single, sharp boundary that most people completely ignore, dividing the world into what is within your control and what is not. The Greek philosopher Epictetus was born into slavery in Hierapolis. He spent his youth in chains, suffered a crippled leg from beatings, and witnessed the extreme vulnerability of human life. Yet, when he was freed and established his school of philosophy, he taught that true freedom has nothing to do with external wealth or status. True freedom begins in the mind. In the very first sentence of the Enchiridion, Epictetus writes, "Some things are in our control and others not." Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, one word, whatever are not our own actions. Consider how much of your daily anxiety comes from trying to control things that are fundamentally outside your hand. You worry about whether someone likes you, whether the economy will crash, whether your flight will be delayed, or how someone will react to your words. When you tie your happiness to external outcomes, You hand your emotional freedom to the universe on a silver platter. The Stoic solution is radical and immediate. Whenever you feel stress, anger, or anxiety rising within you, pause and ask yourself one simple question. Is this within my direct control? If someone treats you disrespectfully, their behavior is outside your control. But your judgment of their behavior, your emotional response, and your next step are entirely inside your power. If an unexpected problem ruins your plans, the event is outside your control. But whether you sink into despair or adapt with poise is entirely up to you. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." When you master your internal citadel, you stop wasting precious energy fighting reality. You focus 100% of your effort on your own choices, your own character, and your own actions. You become an unassailable fortress in a chaotic world. Rule 2. Reclaim the preciousness of time. Ask yourself honestly, what is your most valuable asset? Most people answer with money, property, or career status. Yet, if someone tried to steal your bank savings, you would fight to defend it. But when people steal your hours with meaningless distractions, petty gossip, or useless arguments, you hand your time over without a second thought. Seneca, one of Rome's greatest writers and advisors, observed this absurd contradiction in human behavior in his masterpiece on the shortness of life. He wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested." Seneca pointed out that we live as if we are immortal. We postpone our deepest creative work, our personal growth, and our meaningful relationships to an uncertain future. We say, at age 50, I will retire into leisure. At age 60, I will give up public duties. But who guaranteed you will even reach that age? The Stoics practice memento mori, the deliberate remembrance of death, not to be morbid or depressed, but to ignite a fierce clarity about the present moment. Death is not a distant event waiting for you at the end of the road. Death is happening right now as time passes. Every hour that ticks by is an hour surrendered to death. Marcus Aurelius gave himself a stern command that you should repeat every morning. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Stop living on autopilot. Stop sacrificing your present hours for endless scrolling, meaningless validation, and procrastination. Treat your time as your highest currency. When you reclaim your hours, you reclaim your life. Retention. Rule 3. Transform obstacles into fuel. The obstacle is the way. When life throws an unexpected obstacle in your path, a job loss, a breakup, a health scare, or a financial setback, how do you react? Most people complain, play the victim, or give up entirely. They view obstacles as blockades that prevent them from reaching their goals. The Stoics viewed obstacles in an entirely different light. To a Stoic, an obstacle is not a roadblock. It is the raw material for growth. Marcus Aurelius recorded one of the most famous principles in history in Book 5 of Meditations. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think of a fire. When you throw a small match into a gust of wind, it blows out. But when a fire is burning hot, whatever you throw onto it, logs, brush, wind, only makes the flame burn higher and stronger.
Your mind must become that fire. When hardship strikes, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask instead, "How can I use this to strengthen my character?"
A betrayal teaches you discernment. A failure teaches you humility and resilience. A difficult person teaches you patience and emotional discipline. Physical pain teaches you endurance. There is no circumstance in life that cannot be turned into an opportunity to practice virtue. Epictetus used the analogy of a wrestling match. It is difficulties that show what men are. Consequently, when a difficulty befalls you, remember that God, like a trainer of wrestlers, has matched you with a rough young man. Why? So that you may become an Olympic conqueror. When you adopt this mindset, fear loses its grip on you. You no longer dread adversity because you know that every trial is simply fuel for your personal evolution. Rule 4. Practice voluntary discomfort and cultivate inner calm. We live in an age of unprecedented comfort. We have climate control, instant food delivery, hot showers, and constant entertainment at the touch of a button. Yet, despite all this comfort, anxiety and depression rates are higher than ever. Why? Because when you become accustomed to absolute comfort, the slightest inconvenience feels like a catastrophe. If a cold breeze, a minor delay, or a missing luxury can ruin your day, you are fragile. You are a prisoner of your own comfort zone. Seneca advised his friend Lucilius to regularly practice voluntary discomfort to shatter this dependency. In Letter 18, Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" The Stoics knew that by voluntarily exposing yourself to minor discomforts, taking a cold shower, fasting for a day, sleeping on the floor, or walking instead of driving, you train your mind to realize that you need very little to be truly happy. When you prove to yourself that you can endure discomfort without breaking, you eliminate the fear of loss. You realize that your happiness does not depend on luxurious surroundings, high status, or constant pleasure. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that true peace comes from within, not from external escapes. He wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Constantly grant yourself this retreat and renew yourself." Inner calm is not something you find on a tropical island or in a quiet vacation home. Inner calm is a habit you cultivate daily through discipline, self-reflection, and emotional mastery. The blueprint for sovereign living. These 4 Stoic rules are not merely ancient quotes to read and forget. They are a daily practice, a philosophy of action designed to reclaim your life from modern chaos. 1. Master your internal citadel. Separate what is in your control from what is not, and invest your energy only in your own choices. 2. Reclaim the preciousness of time. Remember memento mori and treat your hours as your highest currency. 3. Transform obstacles into fuel. Remember that what stands in the way becomes the way. 4. Practice voluntary discomfort. Expose yourself to challenge. Break your addiction to discomfort and build an unshakable mind. If you implement these principles today, you will stop living on autopilot. You will stop fearing the future and regretting the past. You will step into the world with quiet confidence, sovereign over your own mind, unbothered by the noise of the crowd. As Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Start right now. Own your mind, own your day, and live with stoic purpose." If this message resonated with you, subscribe to Stoic Mind for weekly philosophical guides on conquering anxiety and mastering your life. Leave a comment below with the rule you need most today.